Alright, what's up everybody? How's it going? I'm gonna do this first little podcast or whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna do it while driving for two reasons. They won't all be while I'm driving, but I tend to think a little bit like more organized when I'm driving, I think. But also because I just feel really motivated right now to do it, and I've got about 30 or 40 minutes, and I think this will help me to do a first one and then possibly do successive ones somewhere else with an actual microphone and everything. But alright, so this first one's going to be an introduction into crystals. To be honest, I don't really even know what I'm about to say. I don't know. I don't have a... Normally, I feel like I would have a structure written out, but I don't know. I've been on this little crystal journey since... I guess I could start with that. I'll start with my background. My name's Joe. I've been selling crystals and minerals since September of 2018. I'm making this video in March of 2023, so it's been 6 years, about, I think, right? About 5.5 years that I've been selling crystals online, gems and minerals. And I got into it about 11 years or longer. I guess I was 14 years old, so 28, so 14 years I've been into crystals for a variety of reasons. But I'll just I guess I'll start with the first experience that I had with crystals as a young adult. Because when I was a kid, I collected a little bit, and like I had some amethyst crystals and stuff like that. And as a kid, we would always go on vacations to Tennessee, and that's something that I really am thankful to my adoptive parents that they took us to do such things like that. So besides my childhood experiences, my first experience with crystals, I was waiting tables at a Mexican restaurant, and it was like a job that I had for like 2.5 years. I was serving tables, and I got into a conversation with an older woman. Now her husband had gone to the bathroom, and so I come to check on the table and whatnot, take some plates. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, "Oh, I like that necklace that you have on there. What is that?" I said, because I'd heard about crystals before, and I was like, what's the deal with the crystals? I've heard about them, but I don't know what the thing is. I guess my older sister collected a little bit, and so I don't know. I'd heard little things about it, and so when I asked her that, she was kind of like, well, I don't really know. My husband is a Reiki master, and he might be able to tell you more. But we didn't really get into a conversation really much after that. But I think she knew a little bit more than what she was telling me. I think she was she saw that I was interested, maybe, and wanted me to go seek it out, or I don't know. Maybe she didn't know, but she gave me the necklace off of her neck and said, "Here, you can have it. You can, kind of see what it's all about." You know what I mean? So I took the necklace. I was like, it was a nice rose quartz. I believe it had like a like a silver top to it, that was holding it just in place. It was very beautiful. So rose quartz was my first crystal. So I wore it around that day and for days after. But the day that I got it, I remember wearing it and just feeling like extra compassionate. You might think, like, oh, you just got a gift, you're feeling extra compassionate. I felt ways like I've been given gifts my whole life, you know what I mean? Here and there, haven't we all? I'm not saying I've gifts all the time, but you know how a gift makes you feel. This gift made me feel extremely compassionate and just like it made me feel more open. I felt different, than I ever felt before in my life. It was like something clicked or something. I was more focused, and the compassion was more focused. The love, it felt like I loved everything, and I was just so like bubbly, and I was so just in love with everything around me. And I was like, this is weird. So after about an hour of that, 20 minutes probably, because I recognized something was different. I was like, what the heck? So this was a time when the smartphones had just come out. I remember I was like 15 years old, 14, 15 years old when I got my first smartphone. It was like a Samsung touch screen, and I was Googling stuff all the time. So I went into the bathroom and at work, and it was like, I typed in pink crystal, and it took like 3 minutes to load or whatever, and it's just like going, I'm just waiting, I'm like, and then it pops up and it says love and compassion and all these things that I was feeling, plus that feeling of like that divine connectedness. So after that I read it and I was like, that's exactly what I'm feeling. This shit is cool. This shit's weird, like why, not all the crystals say they're for love and compassion, but I was specifically feeling extra love and compassion and all that. And so then for the next couple weeks, I actually lived on the same street as a little gift shop that sold crystals. And so when I was in high school, when this was going on, when this happened, I used to run to the beach that was down the street from my house. So I lived exactly like 1.7 miles from the beach. So I would always go run to the beach and run back. I'd run to the beach, do some push-ups or whatever, run back and do my workouts and whatnot. But halfway down was a little crystal shop run by an old man named Mr. Joe. Joe Groves. The shop was called the Coral Reef. And they had it open since I believe the late 70s or early 80s, and Mr. Joe became one of my mentors and stuff like that, but that's a story for later on. But I guess it starts right here, every chance that I got, I would go to the crystal shop down the street and spend $1 or $2, Mr. Joe, he'd be like, those crystals in that bucket are 50 cents, and he'd always throw me one for free and whatnot. And there was all types of cute little, tumble stones, just like the little polished pebbles of different types of crystals, and I absolutely loved it. And I would get 1 or 2 every couple days, and I would learn about the stone. I would go deep into that stone and meditate with it. I would observe in my head the things that would happen as I was holding these stones. So like it was a crystal, so it was there were so many when you start out, but say it was blue kyanite. For some reason, that one's coming to me because that was one that I've always been drawn to. So say I'd get a little piece of blue kyanite, and I would take it to the beach with me on my run, and I would notice, I'd be thinking a little bit more. During the time that I had blue kyanite, I feel like I would learn more in a shorter amount of time. I feel like I would be more interested in reading and stuff like that. It would be a moment in time where I would have read a couple books or stumbled across some magazines or something, and you look back at the time that you had the kyanite in your meditations, and you realized those things were happening at that time. So every time that I would pick up a new crystal, I would spend some time with it, a good amount of time with it, because I wanted to know what it was about. And I would do it to where I wouldn't go and research it first. I would play with the crystal first, really get into it, kind of wonder what is up with this crystal. And most of the time, a good 90% of the time, when I felt ready to go and research the benefits of said crystal, I had already been experiencing those benefits to a specific point, not some unrelatable, this is, the things we're talking about in this realm, there's real, practitioners of lots of different things, and these crystals open up synchronicities. You can see them as meaningless parts of a pattern, or you could recognize them as a meaningful part of a pattern, that correlates and means something. It's in our nature to do that. So we get scared of that. We get afraid of our own nature because science tells us that, that we're... What is the word? Pareidolia. When you see a rock and you see landscape in it or trees in it. Yeah, there's not trees. There's not a dragon flying through the clouds in a rock. They call that pareidolia. And then there's lots of skeptics of mediums, lots of skeptics of people who are metaphysical practitioners of any kind. Lots of skeptics who are just like, wow, you guys are crazy, it's correlated to schizophrenia or other psychotic illnesses or diseases, and blah blah blah. And everybody is free to believe what they believe what they want, but it's just funny how it happens to do. So anyway, I think I came off a little bit of the track. So we were talking about first experience with the rose quartz and how I felt it, and the subsequent actions after that. So that started happening, and then so that's my background. I spent the next 5 or 6 years still just every day, just getting in tune with the crystals. I did this for years. I didn't just stop. I did that, and I played a lot of music for a few years. I slept on friends' couches and stuff like that. I didn't make any money at all doing that or making the music, although I knew that's what I wanted to do, so I kept doing it. So it's like I was getting this, I was supposed to go to college, right? You know what I mean? Or I was supposed to, come on a job where, you could scale up, and I wasn't supposed to do any of that. I was supposed to do what I've been doing. I had a full ride scholarship to go to Full Sail University, and I turned it down to stay and play music here in a band that wasn't doing anything. We had just formed, and I had no connections in the industry or anything like that. And we're still together to this day, this band. We went through a 5-year hiatus, but we're back and doing stuff again. So I didn't go to secondary school. I didn't go to college. I like to say that I went to the School of Hard Rocks because I spent years just studying crystals and their metaphysical uses, studying them in the real time, doing Reiki healings and doing bunches of crystal grids and really opening up that part of the brain that has to do with whatever it is that these crystals are involved with, as far as energy-wise goes. I was spending lots of time opening the third eye, doing numerology, reading up on astrology. Although I'm not saying that I am a master of any of these things. I am not a Reiki master. I'm not a expert on numerology, but I can tell you a lot of things about all of these things. I spent a lot of time just studying the crystals and being with them and spending time. And I can say this now because it's been years. It is probably going to happen again in the future. I just have things right now that I have to take care of. And so it's not happening right now, and it hasn't happened for quite some time, and it probably won't. So I don't feel bad disclosing this information, but I did spend in the past lots of time in altered states of consciousness, i.e. Psychedelic mushrooms and cacti and other mind-altering, extremely psychedelic things, and I use them in conjunction with the crystals most of the time. I would make grids and do different healings, do stuff with the sound. I played a lot of music and crystals, like with the didgeridoo and using them in conjunction really showed me a lot about vibration and where the crystals are, where the plants are, where the music lies in all of this, and talking about our evolution and the greater purpose and cause of consciousness and humanity as a whole. Like, we are here for something, and these crystals are part of whatever it is that we're actually here for. Like, love is a huge part of it. Love is all of it. It doesn't exist without the love. But the crystals are an excellent tool, an amazing medium for connecting to the knowledge that is all around, and for the vibrational knowledge and feelings it'll open you up, but that's where it kind of started, and then for the past few years, since my daughter was born in September of 2018, I have been selling crystals online, and gained a somewhat of a following, and I've made a lot of friends and wonderful connections in the crystal and rock groups and stuff like that. And I've started to realize that there are a lot of people who are just getting into these crystals and getting into everything, who have a lot of questions, a lot of people, rightfully so, who are curious. There's like a huge movement now. Since when I started, I was kind of like an outcast almost when it came to the crystals. Nobody knew what they were. 15 years ago, if you would have walked down the street in a busy area and asked somebody about crystals, they would probably not have any idea what a crystal even was. If they did, they were probably like raised, or like in the hippie, scene or something. It was really known as something that was for gypsies and like like hippies, and it was just kind of like, something that wasn't really talked about. It was kind of more taboo than anything, Now you have everybody, nurses, churchgoers. I have a lot of Christians who buy crystals from me, and a lot of, like, it's coming out that, oh shit, they're rocks, they're beautiful. They're part of the whole creation. If you can't respect a creation, you know what I mean, then you don't respect the creator, right? We love these crystals, and they're wonderful tools. But I'm surprised I've stayed talking as long as I have. What are we at, 20 minutes? Yeah. So, again, this is my first little podcast episode that I'm going to have. I'm going to try to make it like 30 minutes or so. If you make it to the end, congratulations. If you made it this far, congratulations. Thank you. So I'm going to be touching on a lot of different aspects of the crystals, quartz crystals. There's different scientific properties, and then different things, different metaphysical uses and stuff like that. So over the past since 2018, so it's 2023, so 6 years now almost, that I've been selling the crystals, I have learned a lot about, I've learned a lot about other people and the impact that these stones have on their lives and stuff. And whether, because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about might sound like hocus pocus, jibber jabber, mumbo jumbo, whatever. I'm trying to break open something for a lot of people that have been confused. I'm trying to break open like maybe some theologies and break open some philosophies that can maybe be carried into your life and help you be happier or to live a better life. And really that's, what the crystals can be used for. I'm not a part of any religion, and I do not partake in any mass religion of any kind. I will refer to different deities and gods such as Jesus, the Buddha, Muhammad, and other than like Hindu gods or deities, the moon goddess, Hecate. I'll refer to all these because I believe that I believe that all of these deities do exist. I believe the archangels, all that, I believe that they all play a part, and that we should pay the due amount of respect towards everybody who's involved here, because there's a lot of people, there's a lot helping you, and if you know what I mean. But that's my belief, and that is purely my own belief, and I'm not going to push any kind of religious or spiritual or practical beliefs on anybody. All I'm going to do here is share what I feel and what I've noticed to be true. So my belief in the different deities, the fact that I believe that they exist and that everybody deserves their due amount of respect, that is a belief. I want to talk about things that are known, and I would like to infer, and I would like to raise and ask questions about things, but I will do my best to steer clear of any pseudoscience, and to make sure that any information that I pass on has been double verified, and at least to the point of common knowledge. So want to thank you for listening to me talk about these things, because I think there's something here that is extremely important with the crystals, and I think that together we can discover what it is that is supposed to be being said, and we can have open-ended conversations on the truth and on love and on different benefits of having the crystals in your life. So I will talk about a lot of metaphysical stuff. Also, if you're just stumbling on this video and you want to, I do sell crystals, like I said, for a living. You can follow me on Facebook. My name is Joe Hoppes, Hoppes. My business is called Cactus Moon Crystals. You can go follow me on Facebook, and I do live shows throughout the weeks. We have conversations like this on the live streams as well. So you can feel free to join us there with that, but it's mostly a sales environment. And you know, I'm not making these videos at all to boost sales in any way. I have no problem with that. I have got enough of support as it is. I always could use more, but I felt really called to do some videos because of the obvious to me lack of practical knowledge and of different theologies that I feel like people could be aware of and would make them feel more sound about their maybe newfound feelings or old feelings about these crystals and gemstones, like what's up with them, you know what I mean? Like, I feel something, but I don't know what it is. I feel like kind of weird because I don't know if this means that I'm going against my religion or blah blah blah. You know, these common misconceptions and fears that people will have when they're first starting out with crystals. Because if you feel something from it and it's like, whoa, like, is this right, or what is this? You know, it's like, I'm here to tell you it's okay. And if you're an old head who's been doing the crystal thing for a long time and you're new to this, I still feel like we can have some real good conversations and move this along in a way where everybody can benefit. So I appreciate everybody who wants to come and hang out and kick it. This is a new venture that I'm starting. If you can handle listening to me for 30 freaking minutes or longer, well, geez, I super appreciate that. So anyway, join me next time. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna talk about some different properties. We're gonna talk about some metaphysical stuff. We'll talk about again, like, kind of the veil that's over us right now. The covering over our eyes. So, once again, thank you, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you're whatever time of day or night you're watching this, I hope it's a blessed time, and I look forward to talking more with you